What's up, Cardfighters? Ryan here from Vanguard Central, bringing you an updated time-leaped deck profile. This is going to be with the latest cards from G-BT07.
Stand up, Vanguard!
Starting with our grade 3s, we are running 4 copies of Chronojet Dragon. He is, of course, the main boss of the deck. He gets you those Metallica Phoenix plays and also lets you unlock a lot of great stuff, especially next stage. And so he's pretty much the ideal ride for this deck. And next we got 2 copies of Steam Fighter Bali, because you essentially want to run more than 4 Chronojets, so he's our extra 2. And then we got 1 tech copy of Square 1 Dragon from the latest set. This card I feel like is really funny, teching it in the deck just because of the grade -3, so you can make some really fun timely plays if you end up using it. Moving on to our grade 2s, we are running 4 copies of History Maker Dragon for those super timely plays. Great card, and we want to see this card often just because it gets a lot of stuff going in the deck. And we got 3 copies of Upstream Dragon, one of the better cards for the grade 2 lineup, only running it at 3 though, since we want to leave some space for the other cards. So basically this can grab you the Melon plays, you can get your GGs with this, and it's really nice that it can swing at Vanguard by itself. Next we got 2 copies of Steam Knight Lugal. Lugal's there for a good choice because it can surprise your opponent really well, especially given the fact that he has a secret Silent Tom skill, so they can't guard with zeros from hand. And then 2 copies of Steam Knight Calibum for those early game plays if you want to go ahead and get rid of their starter. Moving on to our grade 1s, we are running 4 copies of Steam Maiden Arlem. Unflips are essential in this deck, so you definitely want to stick with the unflipping perfect cards. And we got 4 copies of our Stride Fodder Steam Breath Dragon, because it's stride based deck, you do want to stride as much as you can. Next we got 3 copies of Steam Maiden Mellum. Mellum is another key card, just like Upstream. Same skill, except it calls grade 0s. Running it at 3 just because of space is a little tight, but you make sure you want to have at least 3 in this deck. And we got 2 copies of Steam Scar at GG. GG is pretty good at 2 just in case you end up losing one to the damage zone. So basically this kind of builds a lot of soul if you do end up abusing Mellums and Heart Thump workers, so you can go ahead and abuse GG as well. And then we got 1 copy of Steam Fighter Urzaba. Urzaba is great for those surprise attacks, and he's great behind Lugal as well because he makes a solid 21 plus column and they can't guard with zeros. Yeah, and our starter is going to be TikTok Worker, and in the deck we do run Chrono Dran. The reason being we kind of love both of their skills, and Chrono Dran can get you a lot of extra attacks and the pretty much guaranteed stride fodder and extra soul. Moving on to our trigger lineup, we are playing 10 critical, pretty funny, and 4 of them of course being Heart Thump Worker, because it's basically one of those plays that you can do with the next stage. After your next stage you can go ahead and have some Heart Thumps on the board and power up your Vanguard to get it to a bigger number, since Chronojet does not allow their opponent to guard with 1s or higher, and also helps you fill soul for GGs. And then we're running 2 stands being Urwatar, just for those extra draw power plays, and the combo is insane. And then we got 4 copies of Steam Maiden Ur for the heal trigger. Moving on to our G zone, we are running 2 copies of Metallica Phoenix. Metallica Phoenix, a lot of people either run it at 1. We prefer to do it at 2 just because there's a lot of plays that you can do where you don't feel like you can go into next stage yet. So it's pretty good for those long-lasting games, and it basically sets up all those combos that you want to pull off. And then we got 1 copy of Kronos Command Dragon. He's basically the unflip fodder for Metallica Phoenix, at least the first one, so that it can set up the plays for Kronos Command Revolution, where you basically boop their entire board, which is a great card. Then we're running 1 copy of Fate Rider Dragon, which is basically that single timely play, just in case you can't get anything else off in that turn. And then we got 1 Sea Breeze, since this is a generation based deck, so just in case they do end up grade 2 gaming you, you can go ahead and Sea Breeze them and punch them in the face. And last we got 4 copies of Chrono Dragon Next Stage, basically the ultimate finisher for Gear Chronicle, especially if you run a Chronojet variant. For our G Guardians, we are running 3 copies of Uluru, considering that she's probably the best G Guardian in the game, where you can go ahead and send 2 cards from your drop zone back into the deck so you don't deck out, and you can get extra triggers as well as maybe more PGs. And then we got Highbrow Steam Rafana, the latest G Guardian that did just come out. Rafana's good. It helps you set up those timely plays where you can go ahead and get a grade 0 on the board. So especially if you want to maybe get out your Chronojan, or your TikTok got sent back into the deck by some reason, or anything like that, like a Urwatar. And then 1 Dark Element Dismal, just for those plays against maybe Kagero and Laurel. So that was pretty much it for the deck profile. Hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you guys think down below. And like I always say, like our videos, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe for more content. Vanguard Central, out.